Massive movie update for today. I got 5 VHS tapes, over 21 DVDs that I've bought within the last couple of weeks, and over 14 DVDs from the library. 5 of these came from the library. 5 of the Blu-rays came from the library, and I got over 8 Blu-rays, which I've gotten within the last couple of weeks. There's not going to be a whole lot of speaking in this video, so let's just get started. Start off with the VHSs that I've gotten. These first two are great musical VHSs from MGM. These are my first two MGM great musicals tapes. 1949 movie renewed in 1976. This one comes with an ad for a bunch of other films. These have the MGM UA Home Video logo engraved on the case. Reels on this tape are very, very yellow. Pretty sure the tape is still going to play fine. I don't have a VCR, but these looked pretty interesting, and they were only $1, so... Actually, there's the ad in here, too. These were pretty interesting, and these tapes are pretty hard to find nowadays. 1950 movie renewed in 1977. Reels on this one are also pretty yellow, but like Take Me Out to the Ball Game, I'm pretty sure this tape's still gonna play fine. Now for the slip covers. '42 movie renewed in 1970. Has printings at the bottom. The 40th week in 1993. '54 movie renewed in 1982. Has printings, number 34, and printed on the 17th week in 1994. And now on... Oh, never mind. Here's the last VHS. '41 movie. November 13th, 1992. And now on for the DVDs, which there are a lot here. Miramax will be released on DVD by Alliance Atlantis here in Canada. I did also get the sequel. I do plan on to get the third movie at some point, but I don't know when I'm going to get it. Or if I'm going to be able to find a copy. Weinstein Company movie. Also released on DVD by Alliance Atlantis here in Canada. This is one of 3 Criterion DVDs I've got for this update. 1961 Japanese movie from Toho. I did the update to this on Télé Québec. Dimension movie coming to Troublemaker Studios, released on DVD by Alliance Atlantis here in Canada. This one's R in Canada, rated 13 ans et plus pour violence. Originally 16 ans et plus pour violence, which the Télé Québec airing of this movie retained the original 16 ans et plus rating. I do have the second Kill Bill movie on DVD as well. Now I have both the Kill Bill movies. Miramax will be released on DVD by Alliance Atlantis here in Canada. Co-made with Beacon Pictures. Rest in peace, Tony Scott, who directed this movie. And if I'm not mistaken, this movie uses the E.T. variant of the 1997 Universal logo at the beginning. This was only $3, so I could not pass this one up. Screen Gems movie. Call Me a Lionsgate, Next Entertainment, and Raw Nerf. This one's also rated R in Canada. The disc has the original 18 ans et plus pour violence et horreur rating, but this is now rated 16 ans et plus pour violence et horreur. The second one's 18 ans et plus pour violence on the MCC. Used to have this one, but got rid of it a long time ago. Now I have this movie back in the collection. The widescreen DVD of this had the donut on the disc. The full screen one has the pig, the spider pig from the film on it. These next 5 I got from a pawn shop a few days ago. Plan to check this one out since it does look pretty good. Originally released in the US by Focus, features release on DVD by Alliance Atlantis here in Canada. I think this is a Mexican movie. I could be wrong. Never heard of this movie, but this front cover caught my eye, so I decided to go ahead and get it. Sony Pictures Classics movie, call me with This Is That Corporation and Complex Corporation. Double feature set, which has Reno 911 Miami and Super Troopers. Reno 911 Miami is a 20th Century Fox movie. Call me a Paramount Pictures and Comedy Central. Super Troopers is a Fox Searchlight Pictures movie. Both movies are on separate discs, with the disc for Reno 911 being a flipper disc. The DVD of Super Troops is out of print currently, so that's why I got this. I also got it just for Reno 911 Miami, which is based on a TV show. Fox Atomic movie released by 20th Century Fox. Call me a 21 Labs Entertainment. I believe this is one of the last Fox Atomic movies ever released. This and Jennifer's Body were transferred to the main 20th Century Fox studio. Fox Searchlight Pictures movie. The very last film performance from James Gandolfini, as he passed away the year before this movie came out. May he rest in peace. Fox Searchlight Pictures movie once again. Call me a Sherman Entertainment. These next two I got from a store called Ava B. This DVD is long out of print nowadays. This one's a 20th Century Fox Family Feature DVD. This one's long out of print, so I'm lucky to have this. Call me a Turner Pictures, which did distribute this movie internationally. Rest in peace, James Horner, who composed the score. Currently on the full screen side. This one's also kind of hard to find. This one's a British and French movie. Originally released in the US by Samuel Goldwyn Films. Call me a Europa Corp. I believe this is the first movie to be directed by Zack Snyder. Call me a Strike Entertainment. Watched this movie when it aired on Dusk back in 2011, I believe. And I gave this a full rewatch on Tubi back in 2022. This is a good movie. This needs another rewatch. Lionsgate Films movie released on DVD by Crystal Films here in Quebec. Just like The Pagemaster and Reno 911 and Super Troopers, this one's also out of print and very hard to find. Directed by Mike Judge, who of course is best known for creating Beavis and Butthead. These last two I got at this antique store near my house. This one's also pretty hard to find as well. Warner Bros. Family Entertainment, no, Alcon Entertainment movie distributed by Warner Bros. Family Entertainment. I do know VHS copies of this movie had the PG-13 rating on the label, even though this is rated PG in the US. And I think all copies of the VHS had that error, but I'm not sure. This is the last DVD I got that I bought. The next 14 are the DVDs I borrowed recently. Call Me a Village Roadshow Pictures and VH1 Films. This was directed by, not only did Zoolander star in this movie, but he also wrote, produced, and directed it as well, along with the infamous Scott Rudin. And I do not plan on checking out the sequel. This one I watched on Paramount Plus back in 2022. It was a pretty good movie. Now onto the 14 DVDs that I borrowed from the library. These first two are Criterion DVDs. MGM movie from 1966. Roman Polanski movie, which, of course, he's a piece of shit person. Also, spine number is covered up on cul-de-sac. Spine number on this one is 868. 1985 Japanese movie. This is pretty cool. A movie I do want to check out. Case for this one has some water damage, but it kind of looks fitting considering it's a Western film. Call Me a Nickelodeon Movies, Blind Wink, and Industrial Light and Magic. And this movie is rumored to have used the Violence, Coarse Language, and Mature Themes PG rating viewer advisory on the Movie Network. And this won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. The first non-Disney animated film to win the award. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. This is part of the Martini Movies series. Columbia Pictures movie from 1971, renewed in 1999. Part of the Warner Bros. Cult Camp Classic series, which I never knew existed. 1972 MGM movie. This is a Kino Classics DVD from Kino Lorber. 1975 Italian movie from Mendoza Distribuzione. These next two are brand new releases. This movie I hear is supposed to be fucking garbage. Lionsgate movie, Call Me a Blumhouse. The first Blumhouse movie that Lionsgate distributed. This and Imaginary did the opening on Super Écran. Call Me a Scott Free. And I do know the VHS release of this movie did happen, but copies of it are pretty hard to find now, and it's mostly very pricey on eBay. Another movie I do want to check out. 1981 Polygram Pictures movie. This one's R in Canada. This case is the 2012 re-release, but the disc inside is the, I think, the 2009 DVD. Spine number is 296, I believe. Part of it is covered up by the sticker. 951 Italian movie. What the fuck? Why is this on top of each other? This one's a 2005 Criterion DVD. That's actually the third Criterion, or the fourth Criterion DVD after this update. I believe this movie is released in the US by Fine Line Features. This one's a Quebec movie. And this movie is responsible for was the main inspiration behind the launching of the Rotten Tomatoes website. Which is pretty cool. Case for this one is damaged, so I'm going to have to be careful with this one. The name of this movie is kind of odd. That's why I grabbed this one. This is a Quebec documentary film, I believe. Or, I don't think it's a documentary. Released on DVD by Mongrel. And look at the G rating on this one. What the fuck? So low quality. This one's a much older Mongrel DVD from, I think, 2004. The film came out in 2004. A24 movie coming with RKO Radio Pictures and Rat Pack Entertainment, also with 120 dB films, released on DVD by Entertainment One. And this movie aired on Yupa back in 2023, despite this being a PG-13 rated movie. And originally this was R in the US, but the rating was changed, most likely from an appeal. No idea why this aired on Yupa. Reborrow. Canadian documentary film released on DVD by Entertainment One here in Canada. And now on to the Blu-rays. These first 5 are the ones I got from the library. Comes in a DVD case, but by DVD case, I mean this clear Blockbuster case. Fox movie called me at Sherwin Entertainment. This one says only produced Paul Viennos and 18A. The only Criterion Blu-ray I have for this update. Spine number is 44. 1948 British movie, I believe. Actually, hold on. This goes in first. And this one. Did you open to this on Super Écran? This next one's a brand new release from this year. I was going to see this in theaters, but I heard this movie got mostly negative reviews, so I decided to skip it. Calling it 87 North Productions. Case for this one's not in the greatest condition, bizarrely enough. Reborrow, I believe. DreamWorks animation movie released by Universal Pictures, of course. And now onto the Blu-ray, the Blu-rays that I bought, and these are the last few that I got for this update. Brand new release from a couple of years ago. This was only $5, so this was a good deal. TriStar Pictures movie. Call me with these companies, which you can pause on screen if to read them. A24 movie calling it Plan B Entertainment and Pastel Pictures. It was released on Blu-ray by Elevation Pictures here in Canada. This won the Academy Award for Best Picture of 2016. And since I have Everything Everywhere All at Once, I now officially own both of the A24 movies that won Best Picture at the Oscars. Code for this already expired, and the back has an ad for The Zookeeper's Wife, which that's Focus Features. This one was only $10, so this was also a pretty good deal. Next two were brand new factory sealed when I got them. Seen this movie on Tubi back in 2023, and this was an awesome movie. This one needs a full rewatch. STX Entertainment movie called it H Brothers and was released on Blu-ray by VVS Films here in Canada. Rated 16 et plus pour violence and R in Canada. Not on the US, but I believe Russia for this one. Voltage Pictures movie, released on Blu-ray by VVS Films here in Canada, originally released in the US by LD Entertainment. This one's NC-17 in the US, 16 et plus pour violence et erotisme in 18A, but in Alberta, this was R in Canada. The disc art for both the DVD and Blu-ray is the film's theatrical poster, which is pretty cool. Recipes William Friedkin, who directed this movie, which I believe this was his final film as a director. This one I also got at the same pawn shop where I got the first couple of DVDs. French movie from Garbon, released in the US by Peace Arch Entertainment. Blu-rays cases from Phase 4 Films, but the Blu-ray itself is the original US release from Peace Arch Entertainment. Did the opening to this on Super Écran. Recipes Chadwick Boseman, who starred in this movie, which he was also a producer on. SCX Films movie, also co-made with H Brothers, released on Blu-ray by VVS here in Canada, same as Hardcore Henry. And now for the last Blu-ray and Media 30 update. Used to have the DVD of this one when I was younger, but I got rid of it years ago. Now I have this movie back in the collection, albeit as an upgrade, as this is the Blu-ray copy. Colonial Village Roadshow Pictures and Lego. There was a sequel which I did go see in theaters back in 2019. That movie was pretty disappointing in comparison to this one. Code already expired, but if you want to use it, go right ahead. Just pause the video real quick here. This is a lot of crap here.